Hey, what's up YouTube? I'm back with another video. So today I wanted to talk to y'all about climate change, or at least like the way climate change is making me feel personally and how that interacts with my mental health, because it actually does. Maybe not in the way that you think. So for those of you who do not know, one, climate change is real. There are thousands of studies, thousands of scientists, like it's a thing. I hope that if you're watching these videos, you do believe that climate change is a thing. And it's less about, global warming in a sense. Like I think the old narrative is that the polar ice caps are melting and, we're all going to be underwater. Climate change actually refers to, though, specifically changes within the climate. So not just the coastal sea rising, but sort of, the hurricanes that have been happening, or earthquakes, or, extremely hot summers. This year we've seen record temps across the globe. In Europe today, actually UK was the hottest on record ever. The Midwest has been experiencing extreme heat. I think 2 weeks ago in like Chicago, New York, all those cities were experiencing 100-degree weather, and in New York that caused blackouts. In Chicago, it's super hot because the concrete warms up like the city. So not only is it like 98, 100 degrees outside and the sun's being down, but like the city itself is radiating heat. In New Orleans, for example, floods, massive floods because of just downpouring rain. Down here and the southeast, we've been experiencing hurricanes like for the past few years that have just been crazy, completely like not flattening, submerging cities, power outages. Just that's what climate change is. And as that gets worse and gets worse and gets worse, I said that funny, as that continues to get worse over the years, it's not necessarily like, hey, Miami's going to be underwater, New York's going to be underwater. They will. But it's also that like, hey, there's going to be like hurricanes that just happen and just wipe out civilization, and earthquakes, and it's going to be like really freaking hot and killing all the crops, and we won't have food. Sort of that's climate change. And I could go on and on about that more specifically, but that's not what this video is supposed to be about. If y'all do want a video about that, I can do one, or y'all can, there's this thing called Google, and it's super helpful. Personally, climate change has been affecting me just because I have been in the South, and I've been seeing, I wasn't in New Orleans, but a lot of my friends were. I've been seeing on Facebook just completely like that city was just underwater from not a hurricane, but from like just rain. And that's not supposed to happen. It's been extremely hot here in Georgia. It's cooled off just a little bit. And when I say cooling off, it's been like 88, 90. But for the most of July, we saw above 95-degree temps. It's really hot to go outside. It's sticky and it's muggy. Last fall, Hurricane Florence literally parked itself over North Carolina. That's where I went to school. And I was in Winston-Salem, which is pretty far inland, but because it parked itself over the state and just kind of sat there and just poured down rain, that was my first time. I'm like, oh, there's a hurricane. Like I've never wasn't in the hurricane, and nowhere near Wilmington, where they just got completely underwater. So like, pray for them. But like all of these things make me a little bit pessimistic towards the future, and it's not like I'm depressed over it, but I do sit here and think a lot. Am I gonna be alive in the next few years? Like, why am I like pushing myself through work, trying to get like good promotion status, or like trying to do well, thinking about like, buying real estate in the future, thinking about getting married, having kids. Like, I don't see a future. And it's mainly because of that. And I'm not sure if that's specific to me because my anxiety blows up everything, or if that is just how everyone is feeling. Personally, like I would love to stay in Atlanta. I would love to buy invest in like coastal property, or even buy, condos here. And I'm just like, does that make sense? Really, shouldn't I be figuring out how to buy like a bunker somewhere where it's going to be the safest? Because in 20 years, when I'd be like a full-blown adult doing these things, well, like, is the world going to look the same? Are we going to still have in America if there's like food shortages because of crops, or because other places in the world have been completely devastated where we get our food from, the economy? What's going to happen to that? So I think it's my anxiety, blowing it up in my head, that sort of makes me feel like, what am I doing here? And it's not just my anxiety. I mean, like, these things are true. They, like, if we don't do something, shit's gonna get bad. It's gonna get bad within the next decade. Like, that's going to happen. But that shouldn't necessarily prevent me from doing stuff now. It makes me not want to go to work in the morning. It makes me not want to start relationships. It makes me think that everything is pointless. And that kind of sucks because I don't really know what to do about that. Like as of right now, it doesn't really seem like things are getting better. And I keep on reading on the news, and I keep on like literally seeing outside, you know, every few days there's another like earthquake in California, or like some drought shortage, or like forest fires, or somebody's underwater, or some town has been devastated by the climate that's changing. And these things aren't normal. And I'm just thinking like, if I'm going to like die in the next 3 or 4 years, like I don't like, but at the same time, I don't feel like I want to kill myself. Like I don't. I'm very happy. I'm very stable. The medicine's working. I'm very good right now. All of that's great. But like, am I just? It's like I'm just waiting to die. That's basically what it feels like. I'm just waiting. Not necessarily maybe not to die, but I'm waiting for like crazy shit to happen. Like, should I even be in Atlanta? Like, I'll have to like maybe move. I don't know if that's gonna be the new coast. I don't know. And like, yes, these things aren't gonna happen next year or the year afterwards, but like it's very likely that, you know, when I'm 30, 35, which isn't that long away, 35, 40, like these things could be happening. And it's like, oh, well, all the work that I did in my 20s to build up to like living that American dream lifestyle, having like that vacation home, like it's not gonna matter if there's nowhere to vacation, or if like cities like Chicago are the only places left to go because, you know, I don't know. So I am not an expert on climate change, so take what I say with a tiny bit grain of salt. As I say, like, yes, climate change is 100% real. These things are 100% happening. You can see them where you live. You can see them in the news. Like, this is all facts. Now, regarding the timeline of what I said and exactly how it would happen, I might be wrong. It might happen a different way. Who knows? You know, anything can happen. But I've just been feeling very unmotivated lately. I've been feeling very pessimistic about the future, and it's a different type of sadness. It's not sadness like, hey, I can't personally go to the future. Like I can't personally live to the future. Like I can do this. I feel great. I feel like, you know, I can make it. I'm not depressed, but will like the environment allow me to make it? Which kind of sucks. It's like, you quote unquote beat depression, or, you know, or managing bipolar disorder, and you're stable. And it's like, oh, well, we're all gonna die anyway. So what's the point? Yeah, so I think it's less bipolar disorder, more my anxiety, and it really, really sucks. So we need to do something, and maybe I should make a video about what we can do. You know, you and I, not like the government. The government has a lot of stuff to do regarding climate change, but maybe I can research and figure out what me and you, as people just living every day, not able to make policy changes, can do to sort of help the environment. Not that like, I don't know, we need some major stuff. And there I go being pessimistic. Like, I don't know, we need some major changes. But I don't know if anyone else has been feeling this way. If you feel like, you know, what's the point of all of this? You know, if we're all just gonna like die from food shortages and resource wars and, I don't know, climate, you know, bubble killing us. Yeah. All right. Till next time, you guys, remember, like, share, and subscribe below. And I'd love to hear from you guys. So leave comments. Peace.